What's going on, bottom line viewers? Hopefully I'm not high pitch. Anybody that gets that reference was at the Royal Rumble review last night. If you guys are in the chat, let us know what you thought of, say, Samoa Joe's debut and Raw in general. Goldberg, Lesnar at WrestleMania. What do you guys think about that? A lot happened. Seth Rollins, Triple H back on Raw for the first time in forever. So a lot happened on this show, and a lot of shit happened as well. We're going to discuss the great stuff, the bad stuff, and everything in between on this review. But first of all, I think we need to call out some of those IWCers out there, some of those people that overreact to certain things that the WWE does. I think we need to give it to Kev.
Kev. Oh, yeah. I can't believe Samoa Joe is not number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Oh, my God. It's such a terrible Rumble. I'm going to go riot and cry. Tonight was so brilliant. Oh, Samoa Joe's debut is most epic. Oh, it's so great. Oh, I'm brilliant internet wrestler and community guy. Listen. The reason you don't do Samoa Joe 30 is because of tonight. This was perfect. Anyway, we'll get into it. This was the right way to debut Samoa Joe.
Yes, Kev. Kev's right. What did I say last night? What have I been saying? Don't debut at the Rumble. Debut on Raw. It has a bigger lasting impact.
And bro, I told you.
Samoa Joe is in God's plans. To the Hunter, the Hearst, and the Helmsley. He knows what he's going to do. And Samoa Joe is in the plans. He wasn't going to win the Rumble. That wasn't the plan. He is the destroyer of Seth Rollins. That's a much better plan.
Also, he would have been cheered mightily at number 30 last night.
Good point.
Mightily. And that's not what you wanted to have Samoa Joe do. You needed him as a heel.
Bro, what did I tell you last night, fam? Everybody was going to be, oh my God, my Roman Reigns is at number 30 and they don't have Samoa Joe. Oh my God, I got to throw a fit.
Or Finn Balor. They didn't have Finn Balor.
And then I said 2 months, everybody was going to be so happy that WrestleMania is here and that they were always fans from the beginning. No, well, it only took about 24 hours because IWC fans are pretty bad. There's a lot of them that are really, really bad. So, to all the fans that were disappointed or really mad at the Rumble and did not have the keyword patience, you learned a lesson tonight. So you played yourself. Okay, let's go.
Cashlang, bottom line view, the smartest.
Yeah, like Chris Jericho pulling out the hashtags. That's where we're going to start. We're going to go through the entire show. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. We already have one guy in the chat. Jordan says, Joe versus Rollins at Fastlane. We will see. Kev has a theory. So we'll get to Kev's theories later. So Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho start the show off. Oh, what? Is this new? I mean, have we seen this before?
Oh, this was brand.
Was this brand spanking new, Kev?
Oh, oh my gosh. No, it's like, so last night at the Rumble, it's like this. I invite you over for dinner. I make a nice dinner for you. Dessert, salad, homemade chicken, pasta. Just I put in 1,000 hours of effort. And you come in and say, yeah, I would like the leftovers, please. That's what the first opening segment I thought of.
Yeah.
Well, same thing.
We're stuck with the leftovers tonight. Because we had Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. And basically what happens is something a little bit different. Kevin Owens cut a promo that was actually passionate. That was actually, not a joke. It was a real wrestling promo, I thought. So he comes in and he says, my name is Kevin Owens, and I'm your WWE Universal Champion. And this is Chris Jericho. He is your U.S. Champion. And really, from there, I was like, is he cutting a Paul Heyman promo, or what is he trying to do here? And basically, he goes on to talk about how he's been the underdog since basically way back in the day, and nobody's ever believed in him and stuff. and that he proved everybody wrong. He has a list of doubters longer than the list of Jericho. He proved Mick Foley wrong, and that's the most important thing, that Roman Reigns didn't beat him. He beat Roman Reigns, and he has to admit that somebody helped him. Chris Jericho helped him, and then he thanks him, and he does the hug thing, whatever, that's fine. And then he talks about Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is the greatest Royal Rumble competitor of all time. I like how they, even though Jericho didn't win the Rumble, they brought up his accomplishment of being the longest reigning, basically, competitor in the Royal Rumble, lasting the most amount of time. 61-minute man last night. Also, 4 hours, 56 minutes, and 12 seconds. Almost 5 hours in a Royal Rumble throughout his career. So they built up Chris Jericho a little bit as the U.S. champion. They also built up Strowman. This was a theme throughout the night. Owens was building up Strowman quite a bit, which I enjoyed. He did it in this segment. He does it later on. And basically, Strowman comes out, and Strowman gets thank you Strowman chants, of course, because of what happened with Roman Reigns, and people still hate Roman Reigns, and that's all good and dandy. But Strowman was getting chanted for. So basically what happens is Strowman comes in with his loud-ass screaming voice and says, "I want the title shot you promised me." So he asked for the title shot, and he says, if you don't give me your title shot, I'm going to basically rip you in half. So he has the proof on the screen that Kevin Owens actually gave him a title shot. It's there. It's in video. Jericho said it was CGI, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty realistic CGI. So Kevin Owens is going to have to face Braun Strowman tonight, because this is when Braun Strowman wants to face the champion. He wants to face him tonight. Mick Foley comes out. He makes the match, and it looks like we're going to have Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens tonight. But we all know that Kevin Owens is going to try and get himself out of this match. So basically, Owens was kind of like screaming about, you can't do this to me, Mick. You can't do this to me. So basically, we're going to find out if Kevin Owens actually has to wrestle this match. But from the promo, what I took away here was that Kevin Owens, I think they tried to attempt a little bit differently. I don't know if it was a personal choice by Kevin Owens or if they're trying to do something a little bit different with Kevin Owens. But I sensed a little bit of a shift in the type of promo that he cut tonight. I thought it was better. I thought it actually made me care about his character a little bit more. It had a little bit of background into what he is about, which I appreciate. I also appreciate that they built up Strowman, they built up Jericho, and they did a good job of that. It maybe dragged on a little bit too long. I don't think it really needed Mick Foley. I think it didn't have to be Owens and Jericho starting the show again. Maybe that's part of it, where it kind of felt a little stale. Maybe they should have done it somewhere else or at a different time in the show. But it was an okay promo, okay start to the show, so that we know that we're going to have a Universal title match later in the night. What did you guys think of that opening promo?
It wasn't a great promo. You know, we had some good things in there that I liked. Jericho, of course, bringing up his time in the Royal Rumble, of course, is great because Jericho's GOAT. I did like that they actually brought up something from the past that we had not remembered, and then they brought it back up because, you know, there's certain things that need to be addressed in TV shows, and they finally brought that up. So good point for being continuing the story even when we forgot about it. Didn't really need Mick Foley in the segment, like you said. I don't really understand why he was out there. Didn't really care. But overall, it got the point across. Maybe could have cut it about 5 minutes short, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. So it just addressed what was going to happen later on tonight. Not the worst thing. However, I do agree with Kevil's little metaphor at the beginning that it's the leftovers of what we usually get.
In terms of the promo, actually, I would disagree. I think it was necessary to have Foley out there. I'm not necessarily saying it should have been this long, but he had to make the match and confirm Strowman's point.
But what you could have done is Strowman said that Mick Foley has given me a match.
No, it would have,
because then later on it would have actually verified the point of Stephanie going to, or the Stephanie segment. Because the Stephanie segment later in the night was a waste of time. Like, honestly, it did nothing.
Well, it's building that tension between Foley and Stephanie, though. So Foley making the match builds that storyline up. So I do.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that they could have had Strowman come out and do that, maybe less. I know that they're trying to, waste some time a little bit there, but they could have had, Strowman come out and say, Mick Foley made this match for me because I deserve it, because I have this footage showing that I am the next in line for the title, all that stuff, whatever. And then later in the night, you have Mick and Stephanie in that dressing room, and they get in an argument, and Owens is there trying to get rid of the match.
Either or, I guess. I guess the one thing the couple things though, I didn't understand. What the hell was Foley wearing? What was that?
I don't understand why they let him wear that. I get that that's sort of the Mick Foley wackiness, and don't get me wrong, Mick Foley's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah,
his fashion is quite weird. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it left a little bit of a confusion. What we're doing with Strowman, is he a face or a heel?
He seemed like a face tonight.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because when you're going in a heel versus heel match, and also the fact you beat up Roman Reigns, one guy kind of has to put in the face position.
But you know what this all stems from? It stems from the fact that Roman Reigns is not an over babyface, so it confuses the rest of the card, because we don't know if Strowman is acting the way he should be if he's a heel by saying he hates Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is technically a face. So people should be reacting by booing Strowman, but instead they're cheering him. It all stems from Roman Reigns and his reaction.
So that's good looking.
Well, it's you're doing what you can here. It wasn't a bad segment. The 61-minute man was pretty funny, but I'm tired of these people starting each program, and I'm going to say something that might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway.
That's why you're on the Bottom Line View, Kev.
We're controversial.
Because the IWC community will disagree with me. But I think Jericho's and Owens is more boring than Wyatt and Orton. I think the Wyatt and
Orton is 1,400 times better than this.
I was about to say, how was
surpassed the Jericho Owens program. I know that everyone loves Jericho and Owens out there, and I do too. But I think that this program has gotten stale, tired, and boring. And actually, I don't want to see this at WrestleMania. I think they need to. I think I would prefer them end this at Fastlane, Roadblock, or whatever the next one is.
Well, I mean, at least it's not for the Universal title. Thank God. That's what.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
So if it's not for the Universal title, I'm down. If it is, disgraceful.
Okay, let's get to the comments, because we have Arian in the comments. He says same fucking shit. Kevin Owens is the worst WWE champion in history. It's been nothing new since he's become champion. Strowman is my favorite part of the show. I think I want to agree with that. I'm just trying to think. Well, I guess when you have Lesnar and Goldberg on the show, that's usually better. But usually, like a consistent part of the show, Strowman. Kevin Owens looks like a hobo who lives in a cardboard box outside of a luxurious hotel. Not a WWE champion, nor does he look like a wrestler. Yes, I agree. Does he look like a homo? A hobo?
Hobo,
not homo. Hobo. Yes, he does. This is why I don't understand the prize fighter gimmick. Because his gimmick is that he's a prize fighter, right? So when I wrote that one script I made for people to read, it was the biggest focus for me with Kevin Owens was to make him look like a prize fighter. They don't make him look like a prize fighter, and that's his gimmick. He's just a hobo with the championship. Fat guy with the championship, right? You need to make him a prize fighter. Try and make him special. He should be out there and be like, I'm not wrestling tonight because it's a big event when I wrestle because I'm a prize fighter. You need to pay me on the spot to have me fight Strowman. You need to give me straight cash, homie.
Oh,
like
yes.
Randy Moss would say. In order to fight Strowman.
Thank you for reminding me, because that was something I forgot. Excuse me. I hated that he wanted to chicken shit out of this fight.
I hated that too. I really did.
I did not what I want from my I know he's a heel, But
Yes.
but it's still like there's other ways to go.
This is how I think about it, Kev. It's like, okay, this is what comes in my mind. I'm like, okay, I've watched wrestling many years, but what if somebody's watching this and is not maybe new or a younger audience member, and they're saying, why is Owens the champion if he's clearly afraid of Strowman? Strowman looks like he's far superior to Owens. How is Strowman not the champion, and how is Owens the champion? It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Just from a logical standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could have technically said, no, only I fight on WWE Network or something like that. Or you could have had Jericho say something in there. Other than the 61-minute man comment, I'm not sure what the point of Jericho was in that segment, especially what we saw later. But
yeah. We did have Jericho, this was the point of him, to stay out there in the ring so he could wrestle a meaningless match against Sami Zayn. Can anybody please tell me in the comment section, Dylan, Kev, let me know. Why was this match created?
I was so confused. Okay, so I was at work and I came home late, so I had to fast forward through some stuff, and I'm going to forward through some matches. I immediately saw the next segment was Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn right after the first promo, and I went, huh? Did I miss something in this 5 minutes? So I went and rewind it. No, we just had a match. What's the point? Look, wrestling matches don't matter if there's nothing to promote it on. I understand there's two great wrestlers in the ring. Who gives a shit if I don't have no interest in it? If I don't know what they're fighting for or why?
Yeah, there's no story. There's no story.
Arian says, why was Sami Zayn created? He was created so that guys like Strowman could get to the arena because he drives them there. He is the taxi driver. So that is his job. He has to drive Strowman to the place.
And sometimes to the ring. And sometimes to the actual ring.
So, yeah, he makes those things that, Shinsuke comes down and he does his weird dance or whatever the hell he does. Yeah.
Mind-boggling. Let's move on. It didn't matter.
I mean, it could have been. I mean, you could have had the story around the two guys that were in the Rumble the longest and built that, but
that is what they were trying to do, because that's actually, I asked that to my friend Mike, who's going to WrestleMania with me, and he said, well, I said, why is this match being created? He said, because they were both the longest in the Rumble, and I was like, what? Really? That's so bad. That's so like minuscule. And then also, Sami Zayn beats Jericho. So does that mean Sami Zayn is going to have a title opportunity in the future? They didn't address that. The only thing I liked about this was that the way that the announcers built up both wrestlers from what they accomplished at the Royal Rumble. Other than that, I thought the match sucked. I thought the match was meaningless. Like, I didn't care. I was bored.
I can't believe the announcers did their job. Holy shit, that surprises the hell out of me. Except for Corey Graves.
Yeah, that would be like if you said that about like JR like 10 years ago, you'd be like, well, that's my job.
Yeah, well, it's like that's like every.
You would not be saying on a review, JR complimented the wrestlers or built the wrestlers up. That's what he did every match.
Because JR was fucking GOAT, man. Like, even if we don't like Jerry Lawler as much, Jerry Lawler with JR was great. So, not hard, guys. Just commentate. And Byron, stop acting like a mentally retarded 5-year-old.
We'll get to Bayley. We're getting to Bayley right now.
Oh, it's not even. Yeah.
What a segue.
His worst was not here.
Oh, this is Sheamus and Cesaro and Bayley with Charlotte and the Club next up. And basically what's happening is Cesaro and Sheamus are arguing with each other, and at least they brought that part up. The rest of this can go fuck itself because it was awful. Oh my god. Okay,
this was high school drama.
This was high school drama at an elementary level.
Well, not only that, this was high school drama added with like an actual drama skit. So if I can be Carl Anderson at this point in time.
Okay,
you
are in high school right now, like actually in it. This is fucking stupid, even on those levels.
But it's like Look.
Oh God,
at
we're winners, and we're gonna beat the losers, the champs, and the chumps. Nerds.
Nerds.
God, who is writing this shit? Oh my God, the club is so bad. I don't care what they did in Japan. They can, like, seriously. Holy shit.
And everybody in the IWC, nerd. You don't know what you're talking about, nerd. You never watched New Japan Pro Wrestling, nerd.
Oh
What angers me is Charlotte was dragged down to this level.
Yes. Oh.
It was terrible. This was terrible.
Your
for Charlotte.
women's
and you
champion.
can actually see that Charlotte was completely uncomfortable in this.
Yeah,
segment.
and the thing about this is, if you're writing this segment, first off, I don't know why you're writing the segment. Second of all, why would you involve Charlotte in this? And then third, how sad is it that Bayley fits right in with that terrible segment?
Oh God.
Well, that's who they're marketing. I mean, they're marketing Bayley to the younger crowd, so I get that. But this is just
whoever
terrible.
wrote this segment can cash me outside. How about that? We're gonna fight.
This was terrible.
Cast me aside. How about that? Arian says that the only bright thing about the club is their bald heads.
That's pretty good.
We had a Seth Rollins Triple H video package, basically hyping us up for later on in the night, because we saw a video package and it was not yet announced that Triple H would be on the show, but it basically gave it away. So, but it was a good video package because Raw does good video packages. If they do anything right, it's their video.
Can they just do 3 hours, please, of just video packages? I want them to try it once. Okay, not difficult.
Okay, so they have a 70 McMahon backstage segment with Kevin Owens. Kevin says he's hurt and he can't face Strowman tonight because he's a monster. I like that he kept building up Strowman.
What a
basically trying to live. Owens talks about trying to live up to expectations. I like how they tried to draw parallels between Owens and Rollins on the show. How Owens is still trying to reach their big expectations for him with Stephanie and Triple H, and Rollins was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I think that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Also, Stephanie says that she will talk to Mick to see what she can do to cancel the match. So Stephanie is on Owens' side, and clearly Mick is not. So we got that. Any comment on that at all?
Yeah, it was good building. Good build to later on. This segment anyway built to something which I appreciated. So
the only thing I hate about this is that they keep doing this segment. They do this segment 3 times a show, and it's just repetitive.
What I hate about this segment is that they do it with the same, here's a chicken shit heel who doesn't want to retain or defend his title. Let's do it over and over again. Carbon copy for 5 fucking years. It's really annoying. It is.
It's like listening to a really bad song over and over and over again.
Oh God! I mean,
yeah.
Jesus, it's like listening to MGK's album on repeat. It's just fucking trash.
There could be MGK fans out there, bro. You're just insulting.
Where? This man is trash. All right, I don't even care if it's not. Actually, it is wrestling related because he performed in wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. The only time I hated on him, because I don't hate him that much, but like the only time I hated on him was when he said that John Cena is the ultimate underdog at WrestleMania, and then I just bursted out laughing. Anyways.
When the one time I'll actually like Kevin Owens is when he power bombed him off the stage. Okay, that was fun. Still.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, Tony Nese versus Mustafa Ali. We've had Mustafa Ali on 2 or 3 Raws now. Can anyone else tell me what his gimmick or character is besides that he looks like a Ninja Turtle with painted on abs?
Okay, I don't even care about Tony Nese and Mustafa Ali. I have a major complaint off the top of this before we even get to the cruiserweights. Your new cruiserweight champion is not the first thing that you introduce us to? What the hell is that? That is poor placement.
I understand your point, Kev.
I think Neville should have started. I even would have started the show with Neville.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, this is a big deal. This is a guy that you are building. You have already stated as the king of the cruiserweights is your face, is the guy that is leading your division, and you buried him a little bit in the back. I didn't like that at all.
This match completely bored me out of my freaking mind.
Okay.
I actually think Tony Nese has a lot of potential. He looks like a wrestler.
Yes.
He can wrestle well. I think he would make a really good heel if you give him some sort of character, but the problem is he has no character. He is supposed to be the premier athlete. That is what they book him as. But what does he do that makes him the premier athlete? Stop giving people names that they don't live up to or do anything to back. It doesn't make any sense. By giving them a name doesn't give them a character. You have to actually give some substance behind it. You can't just say, this guy is the premier athlete. The best guy at building him up has been Austin Aries. That's it.
Yeah. Yes, tonight he was good. And I sensed a little bit of a possible heel turn tonight for Tony Nese. Possibly.
Okay.
Well, I thought he was a heel to begin with.
He is a heel.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's as much as we really actually pay attention, to be honest. I mean,
like, I don't know who the face is, and I'm not sure who's a face and who's a heel in
well,
other than Swan.
If you just watch the match, both of them are wearing, one of them is wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costume, and one is just wearing plain underwear that looks like Neville's old underwear. So.
Oh, that's just a poor visual for me. Sorry.
It just gives them nothing. It just gives them nothing. Like, what from the very start, like, I don't know. Am I asking for too much?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, again, I think that the placement in tonight's was poor, and that threw me off a lot of what I was expecting, because I think you missed out on a big moment. I didn't mind the interview with Nese and Austin Aries. I thought that was fine. Aries was great.
Yeah. Aries is great. I like Aries.
Yeah. It just the match was the match, and yeah.
The match was the match.
The match.
Yeah. I almost fell asleep. Seth Rollins has a promo. Seth Rollins calls out Stephanie McMahon. We kind of had a little tease towards this, that Stephanie was actually going to call out Seth. So Seth was like, Stephanie, the princess doesn't always get her way. You're going to have to come out now. Stephanie basically asks why Triple H isn't here tonight. And Stephanie says, that he's afraid, and he's afraid that he'll destroy you, what he once thought was his greatest creation. And that Stephanie says that she asked him to stay away. And like Seth is kind of making some jokes like, let your husband off the leash, all that stuff. Stephanie like lectures Seth about what Triple H would do to him, and like why Triple H is in this mood and all that stuff. And she talks about like she's sorry. She's sorry about like what Triple H is going to do to him. Stuff like that. And then Seth says, I'm sorry for exposing your husband. Sorry for his legacy going up in smoke. And then he asks, like, who was that guy in the suit at NXT that I saw? That wasn't the Game. That wasn't the Cerebral Assassin. That wasn't Triple H. That wasn't the guy I know. Who is that? Stephanie then says she looks at Seth and sees nothing but disgust. The architect of his own demise. So then finally we get towards the end, and Seth gets some real personal connection to it. He says, I have nothing left to lose. What happens if I invade the board of directors? Hey, that was taken straight off the bottom line view. What happens if I go to your house? Hey, I think that was taken straight off the bottom line view. What happens when I slay the king? And Stephanie says, she lied. Triple H is actually coming tonight, and he's coming for you. So it was a pretty good promo from both sides. I thought it had some personal connection there. Seth, threatening the family, even going as far as doing that. That was a nice touch. Even a face doing it is still like cool, because it's just like a personal rivalry. If you really hate somebody, you're probably going to like really, really hate somebody. Like these two people are supposed to really hate each other. So they want to make each other's lives a living hell. So it was interesting. Stephanie talked about how Seth's been letting down her husband and all that stuff. That was kind of the same old thing that we've been getting. But I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say, because I thought that this segment, this promo, actually connected well with the Triple H promo that we saw later on, because I thought that Stephanie kind of echoed what Triple H said later, but we'll get to the real good stuff with Triple H later on. But this was pretty good. This was a good build-up to the next segment.
I love this promo, and here's why. It's Seth Rollins, right? We've been saying for a while now that Seth Rollins has not been a good babyface. He just hasn't played that role well in the situation that he's been given because of all the shit that's been going down in the last couple months of booking and whatnot. But the way he brought this promo out about how he's very mad and angry and, basically relieving that to Triple H's wife, I thought that was pretty good. I thought, honestly, he delivered it pretty well. He made it personal. He brought up stuff that I wanted them to do, like, a home invasion or something to that degree, or, getting personal in their feud, because he has to get into the mind of Triple H first. So I really like this promo. I think the way he connected with the fans and getting them interested in how he's going to get his revenge was really, really good. And it's something that we haven't seen from Seth Rollins in quite a bit, to be honest. It's kind of refreshing to see something of a good promo for him. So, or at least something where I care and it's a good promo. So I thought this was really good.
And Dylan, it also makes a lot of sense too, because if you think about it, this is a promo between teacher and student, and these people are supposed to really know each other like the back of their hand, right? Because they're supposed to be basically best friends in a way, because, Seth and Triple H spent all this time together from the NXT days to the days as the WWE champion and all that stuff. So if Seth brings up, I'm going to invade your home and all that stuff, he knows all the little details about Triple H. So that's why this feud, I hope they dive more into that stuff, because it would bring it to the next level of, like, the personal side to this. Like, in a way, you can sort of get that Shawn Triple H thing. Like, they're not exactly best friends in a way, but you can get that same story out of it.
I think that this was Seth Rollins' best promo since he turned face. I think him and Stephanie actually work very well together. They have a good chemistry when they're in the ring together. I loved a lot of what Seth said. Here's the one little thing though. I don't like saying, "What if your children answer the door?" As a face. I'm not a big fan of that. I understand your point though, Mitch. I just think that they pulled specifically with the Triple H feud. I hear that a little bit too much. I hear a little bit of you're hiding behind Stephanie too much as a thing, and I wish that there was a different way to feud with Triple H than always using Stephanie as your protection excuse. It's a little bit too much, but overall, this was a great promo, and this was Seth's best promo since he turned babyface in a year. So the stuff I'm saying is a bit nitpicky. Overall, it was a really good segment.
Yeah, it got you invested, and that's the number one thing. Arian says, this was a great segment. I like the way Seth went personal. He says Seth Rollins' babyface reminds him of WWE when they tried to make Orton a face after Evolution. Does it have some?
I was thinking of this though. Obviously, that's not good. This is not going to happen. But part of me thinks I still think the fans want to cheer Triple H over Seth Rollins.
I think so too, by the reaction Triple H got.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to a reversal of this.
Kev, I said this, I think, last night, but I'll say it again. Triple H is in the good graces of the IWC. He put over Daniel Bryan.
Put over the Shield, baby.
Put over a bunch of people. He's writing NXT, their favorite product. So the IWC loves Triple H right now. That's why he's getting cheered.
5 years ago, oh my God, this guy's the worst. But now, everybody loves him. So, there you go. I still want Seth Rollins to be the face, of course. But
because Triple H works as a heel. Because he likes being the heel.
He's a better heel. Let's be honest.
He is a better heel, for sure. But it's hard. It's hard. It's still hard to get away from that Seth Rollins smarky, annoying, want to slap you in the face thing. CrossFit Jesus. Anyway.
Oh God. All right. Let's get to the next segment, which of course is Bayley with Cesaro and Sheamus versus Charlotte and the Club. I said 2 things in my note. I could care less. Second line. Bayley wins off belly to belly. Such a weak finisher.
God damn.
I understand that you're trying to make Bayley with the hug gimmick and then the belly to belly her finisher. I understand the connection. But how is a belly to belly expected to finish somebody off? And then also, like, why do I care about this match?
Unless if it's a belly-to-belly off the top rope through fire and thumbtacks, ECW style, it's not going to end the match. That's so stupid. And
not even Taz did a fucking belly-to-belly and end the match.
Unless if this was 1974, where finishers were bear hugs and splashes, this would not work. This would not work.
Yeah. And it was also confusing me, especially a little bit from the stuff that we got a little bit later on. I don't know what they're doing with Bayley.
I don't know what they're doing with this whole women's division.
I think I have a theory of what they're doing with Bayley, and I don't like it.
Bayley Banks. Bayley Banks.
No.
Yay. Oh, they'll make it happen. They'll have it happen.
Something else is happening.
I kind of know what the WrestleMania match is going to be. It's going to be a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, that's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Well, Kev, what would you book, Kev?
What would you buck?
Just have Bayley and Charlotte one-on-one. And Sasha.
But we've already seen it like 15 times in the past 15 weeks.
I know that they've wasted that, but I don't like that Nia Jax is going to be in the title seat.
Just do another triple threat, honestly. If you're gonna,
I kind of wonder if they're going to do Charlotte, Bayley, and Nia.
But Kev, threat. I ain't like most girls.
Fucking, that's the worst theme song in WWE right now. I don't care if Cesaro's still in this company. I'm not like most girls. It doesn't match the theme at all. Like a woman that's at least 300 pounds. I'm sorry, that's what she is. At least 300 pounds. And then this high-pitched
300.
I gotta say she's 300. Come on, fam. Actually, I'm gonna search this up right now. But anyways, her thought.
I'll say 250.
Those girls, like, doesn't match the tone. Stupid. It's like Mark Henry coming out to the Barbie doll theme. I'm a Barbie man in a Barbie world. Like, so stupid. All right, I'm searching up how much she was.
Okay, so no more thoughts on that. Foley and Stephanie have a backstage segment. Foley says that you hire me to do a job. I am the general manager and I have to make matches. Well, if you were a real general manager and you saw these ratings, you would be fired.
Fired.
Okay. Stephanie says Triple H will be here tonight. I'll make it happen. And Foley says, then let Kevin Owens face Strowman. So they basically, they literally did nothing except verify that we're going to have these two things happen on the show.
Yep.
How much does Nia Jax weigh?
240.
I was close, 250. All right.
Okay. Fair enough, but still, it doesn't match the tone at all.
I don't think it's the worst theme music. I don't like it, but I don't think it's the worst.
Arian says it's like Enzo and Cass coming out to Damian Sandow's 2012 theme.
I missed that theme. That was so great. That was one of the most underused characters in WWE history. That was such a
two of
great...
Sandow's characters were two of the most underrated.
Oh,
I don't understand how they didn't push him after the Mizdow thing.
I don't get it either.
Like, I
No
understand
idea.
the beginning, like, he probably should have been pushed as well, but especially after making Mizdow good, you should push him.
Damien fucking Mizdow, and they still didn't push this man. Now he's in TNA as Aaron Rex.
Okay, does anyone want to do the recap of the coronation of Neville? I feel like Kev really wants to do this.
I really don't.
Because I can't handle this.
All right, so basically Neville comes out, he cuts the promos, basically says last night was the crowning of your new king of the cruiserweights. Gives a passionate promo about I'm your guy, this, that, and the other thing. Then Rich Swann comes out and the crowd's really behind Neville here. Rich Swann, not understanding the crowd or getting the crowd, comes out and says, I don't know why you're angry at the WWE Universe. Blah, blah, blah. They love you. And, I don't like you. But I respect you, and you're the best in this ring, and I'm going to shake your hand. So he offers his hand, and Neville grabs the microphone and says, you don't shake hands with the king. You go on bended knee to the king. So Swann gives a little bit of an eye roll and walks away. Neville says, you don't turn your back to the king. He comes in, takes a swing. Swann catches it. They fight. Swann throws Neville out of the ring. Swann has the worst theme song than Nia Jax. Music plays. We're continuing with the Neville Swann feud. Neville was great here. I love his promo. I understand you have to go back to Swann. I still think that Neville should have obliterated him last night. I think that match was too long. And I didn't like that Neville didn't obliterate him tonight, quite frankly. I don't think they're making Neville look as strong as he could be or as he desires to be. And Rich Swann is clearly Rich Swann is of no interest to this crowd. The crowd didn't give a hill of beans of what this guy had to say. I think that they awoke when Neville spoke and snored when Swann spoke. And then woke again when Neville spoke. So, and I think, and the other thing I was going to say here is that there's a clear, passion difference. I think Neville is invested in his character, and Swann is not.
The king is here. The king of the cruiserweights is here.
But who gives a shit?
Why don't they give Neville a crown, Arian says. Also, they should give him my crown. And second of all, why would you want to, if you're the champion or if you're a fan, why would you want to see two guys wrestle where one guy already said that the other guy's better than him?
Yeah.
It's retarded.
I was going to make a weird comment. There's a lot of connection with him, and he kind of looks a little bit like Triple H. Neville, a little bit. It's like he has a bit Triple H in him. I don't know.
What?
He looks a little bit like Triple H, and the King thing. I was like, oh.
I mean, Bad News Barrett did that, but
well, they've done King Booker.
Well,
maybe if they do the King of the Ring, Neville will end up winning the King of the Ring.
That would be.
I like that idea, actually.
Legendary. Although they have not booked the King of the Ring great in quite a bit. So, yeah.
How hard is it to book Neville to win the King of the Ring? Like, I could give him a cake right now.
Okay, I understand that, but like, have you seen like the last 6 King of the Rings?
The last all King of the Rings except 2.
I wouldn't say all.
Yeah, pretty much. It pretty much has been a burial.
Since the new millennium, probably, but not all.
There's only 2 that got a benefit from it in the entire history of the company.
Who?
Edge.
Austin and Edge, yes.
Yeah. but they know how to use it correctly. I mean, like they've done it before, so it's kind of shit they don't know how to now. Honestly, Billy Gunn is the number one, bro. Billy Gunn's
but Brock really wasn't because of the King of the Ring.
No, I'll take the Billy Gunn one just for the Rock promo that he cut on him after that.
Yeah, that ruined him. That ruined Billy Gunn. Because
it was an amazing promo.
Yeah.
Bro, the fucking Kiss My Ass match at SummerSlam 99, that killed him.
Mr. Ass. At least he had a gimmick.
Dude, like I'm remembering feuds from '99. Rock feuded with the British Bulldog, fucking a Jamoke Billy Gunn. Like, I don't know. Then the Triple H feud in 2000, and that was blessed.
Rock was killing it in '99, bro. All right, Sasha Banks and Bayley are backstage. Sasha is getting ready to face Nia Jax. Sasha is blindly, again, being an idiot and facing a giant after she's hurt her knee, and she refuses to not wrestle for one night. Does she want to have, like, if this was real, does she want to have a career, or does she just want to get hurt every time?
I think she wants more purple hair dye because it was fucking gross. That hair is just awful. I'm sorry. Like Becky Lynch can pull off an orange, but she cannot pull off a purple. It doesn't make any sense.
Arian says, since you're wearing a Rock shirt, Mitch, can you ask a question at some point in the show and then say it doesn't matter? We'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah, he's going to do this to me. You know that.
All right. Sasha Banks the thing with this is like she says at the end, she's like, I have everything to prove, and there's some tension between Bayley because she says that she's not okay with coming up short like somebody here. So Bayley is obviously the person that she's talking about. So she's being a bitch. I want to see Sasha Banks turn heel. I think this is the slow transformation of a Sasha Banks heel turn because I think her frustration will end up building towards her turning heel. And I actually like that a little bit. I just think it's like so idiotic for somebody to put their body out there when they're hurt every night and just get hurt. Like, I understand it to a certain degree, but it's just like dumb at the same time.
But it's not like you're winning, like you're not playing the Super Bowl next week.
Yeah, if it was a title match, yeah, cool, I get that. But you're on IR. Stay on IR until you're better.
Stupid.
It's like Gronk playing Week 17 after he almost broke his freaking back.
Yeah,
well, I was gonna use the Adrian Peterson. I tore my ACL 2 quarters ago, but bro, I'm back in it. I need to get this game in Week 17. So stupid.
Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. This was interesting. Kev, would you like to break this one down? Because basically we have, Owens and Jericho, and they talk about Strowman again. But I think that Kev might want to talk about this one.
Why? Why would I want to?
Because I just have a feeling. You have.
You go. You got it. You got it.
I had a feeling. It's not. I wasn't gonna say it doesn't matter. All right.
I'm not gonna let you do it. So no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Owens. Okay. So what happens here is we got the U.S. title. Jericho says, like, even if you lose, we still got the U.S. title. Don't worry about it, bro. He also builds up Strowman a little bit. Like, this guy's a monster. I can't take this guy. I'm hurt, Jericho. I'm hurt. And this is also where I noticed that, Owens continued the theme of continuing his same style of promo that he had earlier in the night. Some people may not notice the little change, but I think I noticed a little change in the promo. I just think he's kind of maybe saying it a little bit faster, saying it with a different tone. I think he's more passionate when he's doing his promos now. I don't know. I'm not saying he wasn't passionate before or he wasn't a good promo cutter before, but I feel like it's better now. Whatever he did do.
I think that Owens.
Yeah.
I think Owens may have picked up that he's been on a little. I think the feedback he's gotten the feedback that he's been a little bit on cruise control and has changed it. It's a good thing. Again, clearly. This match, I think from this promo, you can take away that this Jericho Owens match is going to be for the U.S. title, not for the Universal title. I think that's the big takeaway where you're going with this feud.
So then what would you do with the Universal title?
That'll be Goldberg loving it.
What
I still talked through it because I knew it was coming. Because I value my intelligent opinion, as does Arian and Chauncey and everyone else in the chat room. So there you go.
You fell right into it.
Okay. Yeah, so we have that. And also Jericho reluctantly has Kevin Owens back. But it's reluctantly. He doesn't really want to go out there because he feels like he's going to get destroyed by Strowman. So we have the Universal title match, Strowman versus Owens. Right off the bat, first off, the Universal title match is at the second hour, and a lot of people were complaining about this on Twitter. But this is the reason why, because we had the Samoa Joe thing at the end, and also because nobody cares about Kevin Owens being the Universal Champion. And there's bigger things on the show, like Lesnar, like Triple H, like Rollins, like other things. I know it's the Universal title, but it's the draw, not the title.
Yeah, and we talked about this last night. The conversation people were having was none of it was about Kevin Owens. None of it last night. So yeah, no, I don't think that there's no reason to complain about this. And besides, Owens has been in the main event this 1,000 zillion trillion times. I think it's time for this to move into a different card placement.
Yeah, maybe. Strowman puts Jericho through the announce table. That was pretty badass. And I also like that because he's like, okay, the only chance I have of losing this match is if Jericho screws me over. So what I'm going to do is just take Jericho out and wrestle Owens one-on-one. I like that logic. Strowman doesn't look like a thinking man, but I guess he is.
He's a smart guy.
I did really like the style of this match. It kind of reminded me almost of like when you're playing, I know this is kind of out there, but when you're like playing like a video game and you're like fighting like a big monster or a boss in the game and you have to dodge all these moves before you can hit them. That's kind of what it reminded me of because Strowman's like that big angry boss and Owens is trying to like get some shots in but kind of wear him down. But Strowman, for the most part, had most of the offense in this match, and it just kind of made their champion look weak a little bit, but it also made Strowman look like a freaking monster, which he is. I did like it. It kind of kept me on the edge of my seat. It was a little bit exciting. Then we had, who else but the Shield comes out. I don't know why the Shield is still coming out in 2017 with their bulletproof vest.
Like, is John Cena 2 members? Like, you can't see the other ones. I'm like, oh god.
Okay, seriously, like I haven't brought this up in a long time, but why is Reigns still doing the Shield gimmick?
Okay, we'll talk about. I have a theory. My hamster is moving.
But he's done it for like 2-3 years.
I have a theory because they want him to be over, and because the Shield was over,
the Shield was over.
Like, oh my God, we loved the Shield back in 2014, guys. This is the guy right here. But
was it even 2014? I feel like it was before that.
No, there was halfway through 2014.
Yeah, I think that your bitching and complaining about this is about to end. So.
Am I bitching and complaining?
No, Mitch bitching and complaining about the theme song is about to end. Not that I'm telling you stop complaining. I'll get it. You just keep talking and all.
What's about to end?
I think they're going to move away from this theme song.
What are they going to give him? I ain't like most guys. No. I am a beast. Yeah.
They're just gonna give him Cesaro's theme again?
No, guys, could you let me talk? Tonight, this from Roman Reigns' perspective, this was the start of what you talked about last night, Dylan. The slow build of Roman Reigns' heel turn. He spears Owens. He spears Strowman. You don't know where he's going. You can go either way. The crowd didn't cheer him on in any way, shape, or form. I think this is the time for he's going to have that heel turn by the time he faces Taker at WrestleMania, which will lead to a new theme song.
Think.
The clock was for waiting for Reigns to turn heel.
Thank God.
I think that the way that they're going to turn Roman Reigns heel is going to be a lot better than people's idea.
Because people were impatient, Kevin.
The thing I want to bring up about this is that we had in this match, we had a slob face a monster, and then we had two legitimate athletes trying to beat the crap out of each other at the end, which was cool to see.
Kevin Owens.
We didn't have the hobo, as Arian likes to say, wrestling the beast.
This was a great segment because it built Reigns and it still also built Strowman.
I like the ending. I think you're going to get to this, Kevin. Strowman stood right up at the end after like Reigns hitting him with all he has.
Yeah. And they made a point of bringing that out in the intelligent one made a point of bringing that up into commentary.
Some people on Twitter are like, I was enjoying the match until Reigns came out. Like, I'm like, you really thought the match was going to end straight up? It has to end with Reigns coming out.
This whole thing was about Reigns.
Yeah, Strowman attacked Reigns last night, cost him the title, and then obviously Reigns should, if this was real life, Reigns would have came out at the beginning of the night and called Strowman out. Reigns would have attacked Strowman at the end in the Royal Rumble. I don't even know why that didn't happen. But Reigns would have attacked him while he was getting in his car, getting a ride from Sami Zayn. That's what would have happened. Be realistic.
Yeah, okay. This was a great. This really was a great segment. There's nothing to complain about. You're building your Strowman Reigns match. You're building your Owens Jericho match, and you're also building Reigns as a heel towards Taker.
Good.
So you
also see the shift with Strowman too, right?
Yeah. This one, I don't think there's anything to complain about in this particular segment at all. I just calm the F down.
Brock Lesnar comes out of a car before a commercial. I really liked this.
I really liked this because they were playing it up as Triple H.
Yeah. So they were like, Triple H is here, maybe it's Triple H. And then Brock Lesnar comes out and McFoley's like, Michael Cole was like, oh my God, Brock Lesnar is here. Oh my God, what a surprise, Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Yeah, we have Brock Lesnar come, and then basically we're going to get a Paul Heyman promo. And I'm not even going to talk about the Paul Heyman promo because I'm going to have the man himself talk about the promo.
Whoa, wait a minute. Is he here? Yes. My name is Paul Heyman. You know what they say, ladies and gentlemen, every single time? Brock Lesnar is a beast. Yeah, but Goldberg beat Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, but Lesnar defeated the Streak. Cena's a 16-time champion. Yeah, but Lesnar destroyed Cena. Goldberg defeated Brock Lesnar. Yeah, but is the worst thing in wrestling today. It needs to be eradicated. It needs to be destroyed because come WrestleMania time, my client Brock Lesnar will be defeating Goldberg once and for all, one last time at Mania. No more opportunities, no more fights. One-on-one, Brock Lesnar will get on Goldberg's level and absolutely destroy him.
It's nice to see you, Paul.
Oh, it's nice to see you too, Kevin, as always. Thinking heavily about the bottom line view and WrestleMania.
Thank you, Paul. You're the best, bro.
Thanks, Paul. Great promo, Paul. I like your words. I like when you use hereby. It's one of my favorite things that you say, Paul. Okay,
Thanks,
I have a theory I would like to propose here. And it's also going to connect to the Reigns one a little bit later. And the Owens one. You want to hear this?
Yeah.
Because I think people are with the idea of going with Goldberg Lesnar and Lesnar winning. It's weird because Lesnar's the heel. But just follow along on this. Goldberg and Lesnar are friends in real life. I think people know that.
Yeah.
What if you do this as the respect angle and Lesnar beats Goldberg? They do the handshake. Goldberg gets the standing ovation send-off. Thank you, Goldberg. Brock turns face. Heyman gets mad and goes with Reigns. And then you go Brock and Reigns after WrestleMania with Reigns as the heel.
Wait, what?
Is this like a book, like dream fantasy thing, or is
no? No, you do the Goldberg Lesnar as a respect angle, not.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. That's already part one. I don't expect them to do a respect angle out of this.
Why not?
I feel like they're trying to build this up as two badasses one more time at the biggest show. I don't know if they're really going to do respect.
But if this is, you're not going to you can't just destroy Goldberg.
This is what it's going to be, Kev. It's going to be Goldberg has destroyed Lesnar 2 times. Lesnar wants his revenge. Lesnar needs to beat Goldberg to solidify his legacy. This is the only thing he needs.
Yes.
Lesnar needs to beat Goldberg or else. He might as well retire. And what should happen? Maybe there should be some sort of, I'm going to steal this from my boy Vince Russo. He said, should it be Lesnar? Should it be a retire match? Whoever loses retires.
By the way, shout out to the boy Russo. He unblocked me on Twitter, boy. We got respect for you, game. But I find that interesting. I like that angle.
I like the retirement angle to it. I think that's a great thing. But I still think that you can do this as a respect if this is Goldberg's last match, people are going to cheer Goldberg off. People are going to send him off in a cheerful way.
Arian says that about the Nia Jax thing. Says Triple H should come out like, I'm not like most kings. And Brock Lesnar should come out like, I'm not like most beasts.
I'm not like most beasts. I gotta F5 everyone and then I leave and go in the Raw Heyman.
Okay, I gotta talk about this promo though, because this was really, really, really good. Paul Heyman, I think this is his best promo in probably maybe a year. This was really good.
In a little while.
He built up this match like a boss. He's really good at building up matches. I love the little mic drop at the end. I mean, it was great. He went through Ronda Rousey, Andre Hogan. I love the little there was always this asterisk next to people that, the great people. You could do that in sports. You could do that in wrestling and all that stuff. I really love that. It was a great way to sell the match. It was basically going on the storyline of what I said. It's Brock Lesnar. He needs to win this to get rid of that asterisk in his career. It was a great way to build this match up.
It is. Yes. Indeed. But I'm thinking a little bit ahead. After
I understand where you're coming from, Kevel. I think they just want to have. Maybe they could do this. Maybe they have this match as Lesnar needs to solidify his career. He wants to get this win over Goldberg. Get this final victory. He gets the victory. Goldberg shakes his hand. Lesnar takes him up and F5s him. Gets more heel heat on him. I just feel like that would be an interesting way to put it.
But I mean, the thing with it is what do you do? What are you going to do with Reigns after your Taker? I think it's
have no idea, but.
Reigns and Lesnar haven't met since 2 years ago WrestleMania. Reigns still hasn't got his belt back. If he's going heel, probably one of the best ways to solidify that heel move and keep him off the mic is Paul Heyman. That's all I'm saying. That's just something to think about. And I think Lesnar was mostly going to be cheered anyway.
I'm not against it. I just don't see it happening.
Okay, well, I guess because I'm smarter than WWE booking is,
So this is why you did a segment every show with a Jake.
Yes.
With Jockey. Not Cal.
Okay. Should we move on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what we're going to move on to is I Ain't Like Those Girls.
Oh, stop.
Versus Sasha Banks. So my first question is why. We just saw this last night.
Yeah. So
Actually, I didn't see it. Actually.
Well, nobody did. That's why.
It was a
That's why it's
pre-show.
on Raw. Yeah.
The match stops without Banks tapping out because she's hurt, because she's an idiot, because she wrestled the match. Nia Jax destroys her. I actually really like that they're building Nia Jax up as this monster, man. I actually really like it. I really like what they did here. And I like the little scene where they brought Sasha to the training room. I don't know. I don't really care.
Do you guys find this as a complete carbon copy of the Braun Strowman thing going on right now?
Yes, it is the exact same thing, except Braun is a bit more interesting and has a few different opponents. There's only 4 females on this roster on the Raw side, and you can only go so far with these 4.
Because, think about this. Braun Strowman has been attacking people, but he doesn't attack the champion, who is heel. He gets in the face and maybe does a little punch here and there, but besides their match tonight, he would always just kind of make it seem like he's going to go after that. Nia Jax destroys everybody on the main roster, but hasn't really made her move on Charlotte, and it's always against somebody smaller. Braun beat Sami, Nia beat Sasha. It's just kind of that same thing. It's a little repetitive, and it's happening at the exact same time. So.
Yeah, it's good. So you're thinking Fatal 4-Way. I'm thinking Triple Threat, and they keep Sasha out of WrestleMania because of the knee injury. They say the doctors won't let her go, which leads her to heel turn Monday on Bayley.
I find that interesting. I actually kind of like that. So you're saying Bayley would win the match against Charlotte and Sasha?
Yeah.
Charlotte and Nia Jax. Then come on Raw and Sasha would beat her. Yeah, that would work because I would much rather see Sasha as a heel. I think everybody else would as well.
Yeah, and what you could do
she just needs to change.
Yeah, what you could do too is have Bayley pin Nia, and then you still keep Charlotte strong for a little bit later.
Would you want her to? No, I think the whole goal is to have Charlotte lose her pay-per-view streak at Mania. I think that's the goal.
Well, you could still say that she did, and she can argue that actually technically she didn't, and you could still play it out with an argument.
That's what I think they'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Actually, Arian said that the promo that Heyman cut felt like a respect promo to him because it was Heyman saying and acknowledging that Goldberg is Brock's what if.
Yeah.
Or his asterisk. So it felt like a respect to him. I can see where he got that from. To me, it more felt like, okay, Brock needs to do this for himself. It didn't really feel like Goldberg. But I can understand if you got that from him.
It also felt like Paul Heyman was just trying to sell the match really well. So
that's what Paul does.
Which he does so well. So well.
And then there was some meaningless tag team match with Rusev in it. Handsome Rusev, and they're wasting this handsome Rusev in a tag team match with Jinder Veins Mahal.
Don't you think it's funny it's handsome Rusev with this thing on his face? I think this is hilarious.
I love Rusev, man. I love Rusev. They fucked him up, bro. And they fucked up Enzo and Cass, man. Enzo and Cass win the match, but who cares?
Hey, let me say something. There was no New Day on the show tonight.
Also, Lana, I gotta say.
Smoking. But yeah, I don't understand why that was. Who did New Day were all eliminated at once last night.
Yeah, there was no New Day tonight.
No dissension towards breaking up or nothing. I don't know.
Question: will the New Day be on the WrestleMania card?
No. I think they're going to do the split up at WrestleMania.
Do you think they should do a triple threat match at WrestleMania? New Day triple threat match?
No, I think they should do their final tag match at WrestleMania and split.
Who would they face? Enzo and Cass?
They should battle for the title. Whoever has the belt.
I think they should do a fatal 4-way tag.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Gallows, Anderson, Sheamus, Cesaro, New Day, Enzo, Cass.
And then you give Enzo and Cass the belt.
Yes. Very much.
Hopefully. Man, I feel bad for Rusev. Actually, I don't. He's got Lana. Okay, let's continue.
Sure.
Triple H pulls up in a limo, and I'm like, God has saved the show.
Bow down to the...
Once again, the King of Kings saves Raw. So Triple H gets out of his limo. They have a segment. Triple H gets in the ring, and he says he made Rollins a star. He made Rollins a star by Rollins standing by his side, and Rollins could have just been the man by standing by his side. He could have been the face of the WWE. All Seth Rollins had to do was hold up the end of his bargain. It was on a silver freaking platter for Seth freaking Rollins, but he couldn't do it. And he spit in the face of the game. Seth freaking Rollins was a failure. Seth Rollins was a massive failure. Did he take any responsibility? No, it was blamed on me. If anything, I'm the one that you should be apologizing to. I gave the world to you and you spit in my face. You have any idea how hard it is for me to not get in that ring and basically kick someone's ass is what he was trying to say. I don't come inside that ring. I don't get inside that ring because it's not best for business. And my wife tells me that I shouldn't get back inside that ring because that's not who I am anymore. I'm trying so hard to be a different guy and stop crushing dreams. And he basically referred to burying people, I think. And every day I go to the office, I try to put that behind me and be a creator. And then there's somebody like Seth Rollins who decides he wants to come to NXT where I'm trying to create. I'm trying to innovate. And he tries to spit on it. And then Triple H is like, I'm done trying. So he takes his coat off, he takes his shirt off, gets the buttons undone. He looks like he's just going to destroy Rollins. Rollins comes out. He's like, Triple H is like, come meet you know who your creator is. Come meet your destroyer. Triple H is ready in the ring. Rollins runs out. Samoa Joe attacks Seth Rollins from behind. Rollins his destroyer is Samoa Joe. I really like the wordplay at the end. It was like Triple H is the creator. Samoa Joe is the destroyer of Seth Rollins. I really like that. I love the way that Samoa Joe, he's one of the best guys at beating down an opponent in a segment. Triple H is probably the best of all time. Samoa Joe is one of the best. I like the way that he does the choke. Like you've probably seen it in like movies and stuff. Like they do the choke and guy like passes out.
Legend.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like the way that he like just beats down an opponent and kind of like, I don't know what the word is. But he's great at that. And it was awesome to see Samoa Joe there. I think that they can do something creative with Samoa Joe with Triple H. I like the story that is potentially tied into it with having the Seth Rollins, the first guy of NXT. Now Samoa Joe, one of the biggest guys in NXT, who is really the guy that raised it to the next level. I really like that story. I think Samoa Joe could maybe have some issues with Seth Rollins. I think that Triple H, by using Samoa Joe in his plan, it just makes it that much better. So for me, I really enjoyed the way that they debuted Samoa Joe. I think it left an impact. And I know Arian said earlier on, why do people care, a casual fan care about Samoa Joe? Because he made this impact on the show. Yeah. I think any fan of wrestling or of a TV show, if you get that debut by any character, you're going to be instantly hooked in and you're going to be interested to see what happens. You're not going to be interested to see what happens if Samoa Joe comes out on number 30 and gets eliminated by Goldberg. You're not going to be interested in that. But if Samoa Joe comes out in a shocking fashion on Raw, beats down Seth Rollins, instantly intertwined into a storyline, it makes him very interesting. And a great debut by Samoa Joe. Great writing at the end. Amazing promo by Triple H. I was definitely right into it and on the edge of my seat. So Great job, WWE, with the end of Raw. We'll talk about our ratings and stuff, but great stuff.
Triple H is God on promo, all right? This promo was fantastic. He comes in there, and he has that sort of anger in his voice. At one part, he's talking about how Seth Rollins, I couldn't carry the company because he couldn't hold up his weight on his knee, which I find very ironic because Triple H also tore his knee in 2001. But regardless, I thought it was a really good promo. He just got really intense, and that's what I think a lot of people are missing in their promos. The only man today I think that can really get the job done in terms of intensity on the mic is The Miz, and the Triple H is the
one other guy though. There's one other guy that's picked up his intensity since he's returned.
Who?
Cena.
He has shine. He can shine it at times. Thanks for that lovely rendition of "You Can't See Me." Buy in stores now, aka 2005. I think he can come in at times and pick up the intensity. Other times he jokes around too much.
Historically, yes, but his new run, it's been different. But anyway, the point about this is Triple H, so go ahead.
Sure, okay. So Triple H, I love how he got so in-depth. He's like, back in 2012, when Seth Rollins was the NXT champion, I saw him. I built NXT on him. I'm currently making product in NXT to try to make the next Seth freaking Rollins. And I love that. I love that little part right there. I love how the fact that he's like, it was all right there on him, on a silver freaking platter, and he couldn't hold it up because Seth freaking Rollins is not the man. And he just got so intense and so into it. And then I love the part where he's like, I have to be held back because I said I wasn't going to be in here anymore. I have to come and wear this stupid tie to work every day and go in the office and not be the guy that always comes out here and destroys careers and ends lives. And I thought that was great because you obviously seen how he's done this for so long, and now he's trying to, hang up the ranks or whatever, and everybody's like getting on his ass and trying to beat him up or whatnot. So you get into it. Then he's challenging Rollins, like, oh shit, it's gonna go down right now. The unexpected swerve of Samoa Joe was awesome. I was not expecting that. Mitch, there's gonna be something big at the end of the show, and I had no idea. So seeing Samoa Joe mark out moment. It makes sense. They're going to have Joe and Rollins at Fastlane. I'm pretty sure. That's like 99.9% sure. Joe, he looks like an absolute badass. He did 3 sentons. Did that coquina clutch, which was one of my all-time favorite submission moves. He just looks like a legit badass that wants to kill people. And I cannot wait for that match. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the build-up of Joe and Triple H leading into this feud at WrestleMania with Seth Rollins. So overall, great promo by Triple H tonight, and then the execution at the end was fantastic. That's how you debut somebody, by the way.
Okay, so let's go back to last night, first of all, before we get to tonight. This is why there were people making a joke that the wrong Samoan entered. The reason you don't have Samoa Joe in at number 30 is, A, the crowd would have cheered like mad, which you didn't want because your intention was a Samoa Joe coming in as a heel. B, once he was eliminated, the crowd would have shit on that Royal Rumble like they would have done the last 3. So that would have ruined Orton's moment. So it was the right thing to put Roman Reigns in. It was a strategic thing. It was the smart thing to put Roman Reigns in last night and leave Samoa Joe out. As much as though everyone was complaining about it, it was the right move. You have to admit that now. Triple H was great. You could see that this human being, the Paul of that human being, has actually changed too, which I think was part of the underlying story. I loved how he kept the Seth frickin' Rollins going throughout the promo. I loved how it connected to what Stephanie said earlier, and I loved that he saved a lot of other stuff in the promo that he can go on with. He didn't throw everything out in this promo. There's still a lot more to that story that he could tell.
Yeah, I agree. I really like that they kind of dove into the NXT stuff, kind of like They've never gone there with Seth Rollins and his beginnings in NXT and how he was one of the biggest guys in NXT at the beginning and how Triple H, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, they should start diving into the personal relationship of both Triple H and Rollins as student and teacher.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see William Regal at some point in this interaction. Actually, that wouldn't surprise me in the least little bit. I think, and also there's such an interesting story, especially since they're planning to put Regal in the Hall of Fame. There's such an interesting story with Regal and Triple H and Regal and Rollins that I think you can tell. The arrival of Samoa Joe was great. It's a great way to start Samoa Joe in. He has a good opponent. In theory, what happens is Rollins has to beat Samoa Joe to get to Triple H, and this is how I'm seeing this. I'm seeing Rollins and Joe at Fastlane, and then Rollins goes through Samoa Joe somehow, and he faces Triple H, and Samoa Joe will face Finn Balor at WrestleMania. That's the way that I'm seeing it at this point in time.
How would we get from Samoa Joe Rollins to Samoa Joe Balor? That's my question.
It could be that Balor cost Joe the match. And because you also have that NXT, you're talking about NXT stories. The Balor Joe is an NXT story as well, because they had a feud before Balor came up. And it was Joe that Joe would beat Balor, I think, the last time. Dylan could correct me if I'm wrong, but Joe was the one that came away with the NXT belt, so that Balor can come back with his revenge.
It wasn't his last match, but it was Balor's last feud, for the title.
Yeah. So you can build off that. So Balor can cost Joe that match.
I didn't think about this, but I love that idea, actually.
I have one question. How does this relate to Kevin Owens? Because we remember the initial guy after Seth Rollins was supposed to be Kevin Owens. So does this now make Samoa Joe Triple H's handpicked guy, or is this just Samoa Joe one of the pawns in Triple H's game?
I think Samoa Joe is probably one of the pawns in Triple H's game. Ultimately, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Jericho and Owens. And the question I'm going to have is who you turn face and who you turn heel. On that will be interesting in and of itself. That's a good question, but I think Owens is going to be a background player in all of this, but it's a good point.
Also, I was thinking towards SmackDown, because a lot of people think, and the rumor circulating is that it's going to be Wyatt Orton, right? Who is Cena going to face? Because a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Joe Cena. So who's Cena now going to face, Kev? Styles? Again?
I really don't know who he's going to face now. I'm so confused on that.
Unless they go Orton, Cena, and Harper or Wyatt.
No,
you can't do a triple threat. I think you could still see a rematch at WrestleMania
of Styles Cena.
I still think you have the room to do it.
You have to build a good story on it, because let's be honest, even though it was a great match and it was a great feud, they've done this 3 times now. So there has to be some.
Styles has 2, Cena has 1.
There kind of has to be a stipulation for it, though. That's what I'm saying. There has to be a big time stipulation with it.
Here's one. I'm going to throw this out there. What the hell? Because I know. We don't know, but The Miz said I was beating John Cena before John's beating John Cena was cool.
The Miz goes over Cena.
Why not? What's wrong with that match?
That would be awesome. I would also be down for Styles Miz though.
I wouldn't.
What?
Not for a Mania match, fam.
Watch
Cena versus Styles versus Miz.
Okay, hang on. Here's how you do it. So
I don't know why you would have a triple threat match if it's not a If it's not for a belt, it doesn't really make sense.
Here's how you build Cena Miz. So Miz has been pushing on Daniel Bryan. Then he actually attacks Daniel Bryan. Then that gets Cena involved.
I see what you're saying.
I like that. Another one.
Okay. So,
actually, that makes sense. I think that's what it is. I think it's going to be Cena Miz.
Cena Miz, Styles Chain.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Bray Orton for the WWE title.
Yeah.
Joe Balor.
Yeah.
Reigns. Taker.
Goldberg Lesnar.
Okay, Goldberg Lesnar. Triple H Rollins.
Owens
Jericho. That's a lot of matches already.
We'll talk.
Okay, we also have mid-card. IC title, Ambrose Ziggler?
It's a ladder match.
Okay. Ambrose, Ziggler, Ty Dillinger.
Yeah.
Ty Dillinger.
And then on the other side,
got one more.
Strowman Corbin.
And then you got your Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Okay, who will win that?
Who cares?
Guys, you forgot the biggest match of them all. How are we forgetting? Yeah, I was about to say Shaq Big Show, man. I'm going to wear that Orlando.
That's a pretty good card. If that's the card, I'll be happy.
I'll be pretty dope. I'm wearing that Orlando Magic Shaquille O'Neal jersey when I get up there. So.
And by the way, guys, if you didn't already know, myself, Dylan, we're going to WrestleMania. So subscribe to the channel for WrestleMania build-up. But anyways, let's get to our ratings. Dylan, what are you going to give this edition of Raw?
I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 10. And that's usually higher than this show gets. So congratulations.
That's like a good rating. Like we usually give it like it goes from 10 to -10. So usually we're in the negatives.
We're in the negatives. But today we got a 4.5. Maybe it also helps the fact that I fast forward a lot of it, but that's beside the point. 2 really good promos. I really like the stuff from Seth Rollins and Triple H. That's probably a good majority of this grade, but I enjoyed it. Paul Heyman, once again, beast mode on the mic. When is he not? Okay. Then we have the stuff with Samoa Joe. Fantastic. I like that. You have the stuff with Braun. You know, it was okay. Didn't really care about Kevin Owens, whatever. And there was a lot of stuff that I did not like that we talked about extensively, but I also kind of skipped. So it really didn't matter to me. However, the 4.5 goes to the stuff that they did get right. The Seth Rollins Triple H feud as a whole, it was absolutely 100% done correctly with the debut of Samoa Joe. Not at the Royal Rumble last night, but here tonight on Raw as a badass. And it was absolutely fantastic, and I enjoyed it every single second of that. And there was some good stuff here and there throughout the night that made this a little bit better. So I will not rant on Raw, but I'll rather rant on Kenny Omega, who just tweeted out a couple of hours ago, and I quote, "You can't compare apples and oranges. And at the end of the day, I could easily have Cena and AJ Styles' best match in WWE. There is no argument. Go fuck yourself." End of the match. End of my rating. That is all I have to say.
Omega's waiting for a year before, so look for those matches.
Yeah, but before Omega comes to WWE, though, he needs to get a haircut. Okay. You ready?
Yes. I'm going to give this a 10 out of Kings because tonight's theme was Kings, so I'm going to give this a 10 out of Kings. A 10 of diamonds out of King of Diamonds, if you're looking at it from the cards point of view. There was a lot of really subtle build towards WrestleMania, which was great, specifically Reigns, Strowman, Owens, because Stephanie, you're building that tension. Paul Heyman, Lesnar, Neville had a great promo. Bayley, yes, there was a lot of messy stuff, but Triple H, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, that was probably one of the best segments in about 4 or 5 months. and probably at least the best segment since Owens won the Universal title back when the last appearance of Triple H. So I'm going to give it 10 out of Kings.
10 out of Kings for Kevil. I will give this a 4 out of 10. Staggering 4 out of 10. We had 2 very good promos, as Dilly Vanilli brought up. A pretty interesting match between Strowman and Owens that I enjoyed, but I didn't really care for at the same time. I thought there was some solid build in certain areas, but the rest of the show honestly just bored me, or I did not care, and a lot of it didn't even make sense. So I think the King of Kings, once again, Triple H saved the show. I just can't comprehend some of the writing. But besides that, 4 out of 10, that's the most positive review I've given Raw in quite some time. So there's that.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been crap on Raw that people are going to complain about. That's fine.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anything to plug, guys, before we leave?
I'm a busy man this week, so I'm gonna try to get on some videos. We got a Super Bowl preview, I imagine we're gonna have on here before Sunday, so I'll be on that, and I'll be on the Super Bowl recap, which will be a banger as well. No NXT this week. I'm sorry. Work is a.
I could try, but I can't promise.
Okay. Kevin will try, but I will certainly not be on there. Not because I don't want to, because there's an ending to TakeOver, and I want to see the glorious Bobby Roode come out in this first entrance as champion. Glorious! But I will not be able to. But I will try to be on as much videos as possible, because this channel is the best on YouTube. And thank you for the subscribers, man. We've almost gotten to 1,800 here in January. We started the month off with under 1,500, so appreciate the loyal viewers out there. Meet us at Mania too. You come see us. We'll be there.
Yeah. If you guys are at Mania, come say hi.
You guys should have your bottom line view shirts.
Yes, we need to make.
We should get some.
We need to make some.
Hand them out. What should it say on Killing Smarks?
yeah.
Kill him.
Fuck the IW.
Hashtag beat up Kevin. With my face on it. No, don't do that.
We're gonna have a side shirt. That's not the #1 shirt. It'll be
what you guys should. That would be awesome if you had my face. If you had a picture of my face and you can get on either WrestleMania or Raw, I would howl my.
Oh, I should get that.
Kabul. Great.
Okay, Kev, anything to plug, bro?
Podcast, Spreaker.com/KVOLE. We've got some things on the cooker that could happen. We're doing some Super Bowl previews. We talked hockey. We're going to talk more hockey. Lots of stuff going on. Follow me at KVOLE. I shout, yell, and complain on there.
Yeah, Kev's been very active on the Twitter, talking about numerous subjects, especially the president.
Orange Folius Cheeto.
For the channel, lots of Super Bowl stuff coming out. A couple retro reviews for Panthers versus Patriots, and what was the other one? Seahawks Patriots. That is currently in the editing machine. Also, top 10 New England Patriots of all time. That is coming out. Of course, SmackDown review tomorrow. I'm excited for the show. We'll see what happens. NXT, like Dylan said, is probably canceled this week. I'll try if I can watch it, but I can't promise anything because I'm pretty busy myself this week. Lots of NFL content for the Super Bowl. And we'll really be picking up wrestling, especially when the Super Bowl is over. Very excited. My Patriots are in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy and you're new to the channel, definitely check out the channel, what we have on the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And Gronk, spike that like button. Thanks, guys, for watching, and peace out.